Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Smite Challenger Cup. This is the European version of things right here on Sunday, October 5th. And we have your sixth week of games. Agilitas just won that last match in, well, about 15 minutes. Potato Boys are going to see if they can bring it out to a game three now that they finally joined the game lobby. Bans go out. Odin, Mercury, Ra, and Thor. I love the Ra ban. I love the Thor ban even more so. Mercury is specifically adapting. You just can't let him have Mercury. And the Odin, I guess, is targeted towards Durgius, but I'm not sure if Odin is imperative enough of a pick to warrant a first ban.
No, he's not ban worthy. There's too many good supports out there. There's Jeb, Athena, Bacchus. They're three equally good supports, if not better. So why would you ban it?
Yeah, no, I can completely agree. We're gonna have Vulcan picked first overall, and this, folks, this has nothing to do with gods. This has nothing to do. This is about these two players. You could call it a respect grab. They're not going to ban. So, Pretty Prime is one of the best Vulcans in the world. Arrow has proven that he can also be extremely successful on Vulcan. You could call it a respect grab. I'm going to go ahead and call this a grudge match. Both of these players want to prove that they have the better Vulcan. So it's going first pick overall.
Yeah, these lineups are really bizarre. Myself, I would have got for second pick. I would have got the Jeb and Zong because them two together are the ultimate combo.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the main. The Agilitas and Potato Boys run interesting lineups, sort of like what sort of in the way of Fat Chunks, not so much the way of what Cloud9 had done up until recently. As Aphrodite and Rom are locked in for Agilitas, Aphrodite is going to be fantastic for that Confrey, so that's going to be more than okay. Sounds good. And Rom will also be all right as well. Cirquette and Athena on the right hand side, while Apollo is also picked up. This interesting stuff should come out well. I love to see the Vulcan play. I love to see the Vulcan play come out from Pretty Prime. Have you seen Vulcan played by either of these characters?
I have seen the play and I played against it. You've got to remember we always scrim Agilitas because they are worthy of going into the SPL, and his Vulcan is really good. He doesn't miss a free.
Yeah, it's a scary thing. Another Ymir ban. Potato Boy is really respecting this Ymir play out of Kanye Life.
Yeah, Ymir adds so much pressure to defending buffs because he's such a good aggressor. He can punish people really hard for being out of position.
Yeah, Ymir also has that high damage early in the game, so the interesting stuff coming out there for the ban, just to be aware. And Hubwa going to be banned out by Agilitas as well. So looking at what, go ahead.
I can't believe that Jeb he's got through both banning stages and he's not even been picked up.
Yeah, you know, it's rather interesting. These teams pick interestingly. I started to talk about it. They pick interestingly, sort of due to the, like, in the vein of Fat Chunks, in the sense that these players just happen to be very comfortable on odd choices.
I think if they're gonna beat the SPL teams and get into the LAN, they need to work on the picking and banning. To be honest, they need to do some research because. Why was Jeb not picked up?
Yeah, that was going to be my number one question to you before we went ahead and moved in. Was the transition into the SPL? You know, we take a look at these picks. Are they good enough on these characters to warrant letting go of the top tier picks?
No, not a chance.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Jeb is a machine. He's really good. He brings a lot to team fights, a lot more than Ares.
Yeah, I mean, I think Geb is the best character in the game.
I was really surprised that Agilitas didn't pick it up for the last pick and picked Ares over it.
Yeah, I mean, Murder, Kanye Life can play Geb. He can play it. But they opt to go Ares. They do opt to go last pick Ares, so they're not doing anything drastic like they did with their Vulcan. Aphrodite and Vulcan. This is a It's what we call this is what we call comfort picks. Vulcan is Pretty Prime's best character. Aphrodite just might be Confrey's best character. This is scary, and despite it not being a standard lineup, Potato Boys have to watch out for what's to come. We're going to take a look if Agilitas can bring this out in 2, or if Potato Boys go ahead and extend it to 3. Stay tuned for Game 2 of the European Challenger Cup right here on Smite Game. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game 2 of your European Challenger Cup. This is the 6th week of the action. My name is F. Joined here by Mortality's own hi-rez. How you doing today?
Hungover, but great.
We're doing fantastic here up in the booth, and we're excited for a nice game. Sure, it is going to be a long, extended game as we see these two fantastically drafted teams for each team come out here into the shadow of Olympus. Agilitas did take out the first game. They won in about 16 and a half minutes. Just looked very, very dominant, while Potato Boys just had a little bit of problems securing basically everything, jungle buffs, etc. Agilitas grouping 5 members wide in the right-hand side of the map. Now they're going to go ahead and disperse and head into normal spots. So we should see... Actually, they're not. Agilitas is doing... I'm not sure what Agilitas is doing, but I'm interested to see where they go.
Invade.
Are they invading?
I don't know. I hope so. Only cheesy people invade like me.
It looks like we're just going to see... Now we're going to see a retreat towards the normalcy. Vulcan standing directly in the middle lane. We're going to see replicas in the back, and minions will spawn in 10 seconds, so we'll see exactly where everybody's going. And I like the play from Agilitas. They're going to go around the corner to get spotted on the ward that they're supposed to be seeing, and then try and get the steal. Here they come. Hog comes out. That's going to be the left side to Agilitas, and the right side will go uncontested to Agilitas as well. So that steal was successful. I think this is what Potato Boys wanted to do originally in the last game, and they didn't get anything off of it.
2 games in a row now that we've seen the mid camps stolen at the very start. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. They should go all in on them and try and get a pick. You get 1 kill and lose the mid camps, it's fine.
The level 1 comp right here, as we see Dirgius take a lot of poke. How is this level 1 comp for Agilitas has Ares and Rom, and Potato Boys had Apollo, Athena, and also Giannis. Who does that level 1 fight go to?
I mean, Ares at level 1, he's OP. He's really, really strong, but he needs to level his chains to be fighting at level 1. But Potato Boys had the numbers, there was 3 of them, and they would have taken that fight quite easily, to be honest.
Well, that's just an unfortunate set of circumstances for our team in the red trunks, who are the Potato Boys. Potato Boys are actually going to, Agilitas is going to lose a wave of minions. Looks like they're going to lose about 3 minions, make that 4 minions to the tower as they pick up the blue buff. So Ataraxia level 3, we'll see the red team come into lane at level 2. So that should be all right. And Adapting, just hanging out in this jungle, going to go ahead and pick up his own red buff.
Yep. Nothing cheesy, no invades on the speed. I mean, I would have liked seeing invade on the speed like they've been doing previously. It's really, really good to take that speed away from the jungler. It demoralizes you.
It's a huge demoralization. Speed buff will actually increase your camp clear time. Not because you're doing extra damage, although you actually are due to in-hand attacks, but because you can just move around faster. Movement speed should never be really discounted, especially on a character who you're supposed to be omnipresent with. And that's exactly the jungler's role, is be everywhere all at once. We'll see Kali pick up that speed buff and head back to base. She wants to start that build as soon as possible. What does Kali do before chin size, hi-rez?
It's all in player's preference, but myself, I like to go for Rage. Rage is really, really strong, and you can win them early fights. Well, not early fights, but mid-game fights.
Rage over chin size?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'm going to pick up that conversation in a sec. Kanye life getting very low. Looked like there might have been some more interaction right there, but Suntouch playing it very coy, very far away from that. We're going to see these mid-camps respawn. So you like the Rage over the chin size on Kali?
Yeah, I think it's really efficient mid-game. The Queen size costs too much. Since that nerf, it's His price is extortionate. Is it 3,050 gold?
Yep.
So much farming you have to do. I mean, if you're really far ahead and you can get the farm, then sure. I don't like the first 2 levels of the item.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is Replicas picks up first blood onto Dirge. He is Suntouch stuck here. He wants to look at Arrow. Arrow taking a lot of damage as well, and Replicas gonna go ahead and pick up the double for his health. Right side mid camps go the way of the red team Potato Boys, but not before they lose 2 members of their team to Agilitas. 3 minutes in, folks, just shy of 4. We're gonna see a level 6 Gold Fury go ahead down. Turret, Vulcan, Kali, Ares. Gold Fury goes down. As we said, we're approaching the 4-minute mark and 2100 gold going the way of Agilitas. Already starting this game off strong. Looking very good right now in the early stages of this game.
At this point, if I was on Agilitas, I'd back, buy up, regen, get your cooldowns, and go invade the speed buff, because you know it's up. You started at the speed buff, so it's going to be up for about 415. That would be the most efficient thing from today.
That speed buff does just pop up at 415. Folks, we do have a pro jungler in our booth right now, so yes, on the money is that speed buff, and we're going to see the Circuit walk towards that and go ahead and pick that up, no problem. Pretty Prime here in the middle lane against Arrow, level 7 to level 6. Able to clear very quickly with that backfire, just so strong as clear, and then use the 3 for poke. We should see that coming out from Pretty Prime, and I actually think that Pretty Prime will do well against Arrow, despite the fact that I think Arrow is a fantastic Giannis as well. 2 members in the right-hand lane getting pushed out under tower. Proxy stunned out by the Kali Ma, and there it is, the kill on Confrey. Goes ahead and turns it around and steals the kill with the birds. That is one of the bigger problems with Kali Aphrodite, is that birds do so much damage that you sometimes just steal the kill from Kali unintentionally. That time didn't matter, but when you got a target, things become a little more serious.
It's really hard to fight against an Aphrodite. I think when you're against her, you need to split the team fights. So she's in a position where she has to be in multiple places, and you can't do that. So you end up just splitting the team fight and winning.
Longhand lane, we just saw 2 kills go out. Adapting goes ahead and picks up 1, and that's going to be good for his team. Potato Boys is going to have 1 kill finally on the scoreboard. We say finally. It seems like a long time since there are already 4 kills and Agilitas doing so well, but it hasn't been that long. So Potato Boys is going ahead and pick up their first kill of the game. Still traveling behind by about 2,500 gold at the moment, and mid camp should be respawning any moment now. We don't see anybody in the area. What kind of rotation can we expect to see here in the long lane? Suntouch is battling no one, and he will die to the support. Kindly Life takes down the Hunter.
I think that's when you've got the problem. When a support is soloing an ADC at this part in the game, instead of going mid camps, that's a really, really big problem.
And that's rather interesting. Suntouch is level 8. Kindly Life is level 7. Kindly Life just beat him. Unfortunately, just beat Suntouch, and that's part of Smite. You have to be able to use your abilities, hit your abilities. If you don't manage your mana well, as Suntouch was out of mana, then it's just not going to be able to be done. So Kindly Life picks up the kill. That's going to be a good one for him. Ares is a god, of course, that does like farm. So he's 1, 0, and 3, and we're going to see that sovereignty come online sooner rather than later, as those Midas boots should be finished rather quickly. Mid camps go down, and Kali's surrounded all by herself, but she'll be able to get out no problem, as Giannis is more afraid of her than she is him.
The Athena ult was used pointlessly too. It was really unfortunate on that timing, because he didn't collapse. He dropped the target, which is definitely the correct thing to do, so it was well played on Kali's part.
Yeah, the Athena ultimate, that seemed like a little bit of a miscommunication coming out from Potato Boys. That's something that you see frequently in solo queue, and shouldn't see in competitive queue, where you just mistakenly use an Athena ultimate when it's not needed. But we'll see how the team recovers. Suntouch is about 50%, very low and not enough distance from the ROM, but enough distance in the solo lane. Confrey going to pick up another kill over there as well, so that's going to be good for Confrey. He's sitting pretty on that. Aphrodite, while the middle lane is looking prime with that Vulcan kill. Arrow's going to fall down to the ultimate, And that will be that as Suntouch lands in the back line. Very low. 1v3. Interesting decision. And that's going to be
Wow.
game, folks. 8 kills, 8 minutes. Agilitas
Wow.
takes the game with an early surrender.
Surrender
That's the
8
finals.
minutes?
That's the finals. Yeah, I mean, so I would have liked to see a little bit more of gameplay. But at the end of the day, Potato Boys are number 2 seed. Number 2 seed is all you need. So this isn't necessarily a make or break situation for them. Maybe they're just trying to save morale. Is that something you would think about as a pro player?
I'm really speechless. I don't know what to comment on that. I really don't. You should never surrender a game. I mean, I understand when people press F6 when they die and stuff, just joking, but you don't actually surrender.
Right.
Especially if you're number 1 or number 2 seed. If you just, a new team that's coming into it and you're not synergized and you're new to the game, etc., of course you're going to surrender because you don't know how to come back. But I know the players on Potato Boys, they know full well how to come back from games, and they should at least try.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision. I do, honestly, I really do expect a little bit more from them, but maybe we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So the 8-minute victory will go to Agilitas. They will earn their 6th crown of the European Challenger Cup. So congratulations to Agilitas. Hard fought and fantastic play coming out from these players.
I think that Potato Boys knew I was hungover and said, I know, let's give hi-rez a present and end the game early so we can go sleep.
It just might be, but who knows? Maybe we'll get to talk to some of these players and bring you that information next week during the European broadcast. As always, feel free to check us out. North American broadcast will be next Saturday. Please come check us out. It will be the last week, actually. And the implications of this, if you guys are new to the Challenger Cup, top 2 seeds, as we see Potato Boys and Agilitas right here, will be facing off against the bottom 2 seeds in their region after the 7th week, which is next week. So these 2 teams should be decided, but next week's North American will be exciting. North American Challenger Cup can be found on Saturdays on Smite Game 2 at about noon EST. You can find us right here on Smite Game 1 during the European broadcast on Sundays at 6 a.m. EST. Thank you guys for joining us. Myself, you can find me anywhere, and I will be broadcasting. But Raffer, thank you so much for joining us. You've brought some fantastic commentary and shed a lot of light on some interesting thoughts that non-pros just might not have. So thank you for joining us, and tell the folks at home where they can find you.
You can find me on twitch.tv/hi-rez and twitter.com/hi-rez.
Fantastic. I'll go ahead and link those in chat for you. We'll make sure to give you a follow and see what you can do, because you've definitely given us a treat today. We'll catch you, everybody, at chat. For me, myself, Kret, Raffer, everybody in production, and everybody in chat, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next Saturday for North America. Once again, thank you, and we'll catch you later.